Interactions, Collaboration Skills for School Professionals, Chapters 4 through 7 by Lauren Pearson. Chapter 4, Integrating Skills in Interviews. Question format, direct, indirect questions, open and closed questions, and single and multiple questions. Most questions are direct questions end with a question mark and are specific. Indirect questions offer a available alternative and end with a period when written. Open question is one for which an infinite range of responses is possible. Closed question is one in which the range of responses is limited. Single questions are more preferable. Multiple questions relate to specificity. Focused inquiry delimits the topic sufficiently so that the respondent can clearly identify the specific type of information requested. Critical role in communication helps guide the course of the interaction and directs attention to specific information. Presupposition specific question content that conveys to respondents an expectation of what they already know and helps focus their response. Can vary from little to great. Benefit is that it often conveys that you value another person's perception of what interest in a situation, which is highly important. Providing information, descriptive statements provide a verbal account of a situation, behavior, opinion, or feeling used to relate overt and covert information. Guiding statements provide information to guide actions, and two categories that are those that explain and those that advise. Urge others to act, feel, or think in a certain way. Suggestions for effective interviews. These steps for interviewing describes the process as it should occur in ideal conditions. Use pauses effectively, monitor information-seeking interactions, attend to cultural context, final thoughts on interviewing such as recognizing the challenges. Chapter 5, Interpersonal Problem Solving. Problem solving using a systematic approach for problem solving is beneficial in addressing reactive and proactive problems. Reactive is faced with responding to a crisis that requires attention in a brief time frame. Most interpersonal problem solving in schools are reactive. Proactive is anticipated situation that focuses your attention before a crisis happens. Deciding whether to problem solve. First, consider the circumstances. Consider whether a collaborative approach is indicated. So these are some questions you might ask yourself. What might happen if nothing were done to resolve the problem? Are adequate time and resources available to resolve the problem? Response to intervention. I provided a chart for y'all on the left of this slide if y'all would like to view it. RTI is a special type of problem solving which is also called technical. Typically have a subscribed set of solutions. Complexities of problem solving in a group versus in isolation is valid for RTI. Steps in interpersonal problem solving. First, identify the problem, generate potential solutions, evaluate potential solutions, select the solution, implement the solution, and evaluate the outcome. Putting the problem solving pieces together depends on a certain extent on the seriousness of the problem or relies on collaboration heavily. Principals and administrators can play a key role. Be aware of the tendency in some school situations where others are trying to convince you that a particular predetermined solution is the right one. So it's not always the right one. Chapter 6, Teams. Characteristics of teams. Teams have clearly articulated goals, and educational teams' goal is effective service delivery leading to positive student outcomes. Members are aware of their team membership roles and responsibilities. Team interactions are regulated by shared norms. Team members are interdependent. Team members also have a unique skills and perspectives of each other. Developmental stages for teams are forming, storming, norming, and performing. Forming is like when you're testing, like being polite and interpersonal. Storming is infighting, where you're controlling conflicts and facing difficulties. Norming is getting organized, developing skills and giving feedback. Performing is mature closeness, is where you're open, flexible, and effective. Benefits and drawbacks of teams. Some benefits are develop a high level of interpersonal trust and respect for one another, and can improve performance. Drawbacks are that are time consuming. Team members might not have the same time available as a result of their varied schedules. Team purpose or function. 3 types of student-centered teams. Special education teams that make decisions about students' referral to assessment for and determination of eligibility for programs in special education. Student-centered problem-solving teams that address issues related to students experiencing academic, behavioral, social, and emotional problems. Service delivery teams of persons involved in the coordinated design, implementation, and evaluation of student programs. Team's disciplinary working relationship, also known as the team's configuration. Multiple disciplinary teams, interdisciplinary teams, and transdisciplinary teams are all part of the configuration. The first one is a number of perspectives and disciplines are represented, and interdisciplinary teams are coordinate interventions related to students, and transdisciplinary teams performs tasks interactively and through a process known as role release. Effectiveness of teams. Teams' goals are clear, members' needs are met, members have individual accountability, group processes maintain the team, and team members have leadership skills. Chapter 7, which is co-teaching. Characteristics of co-teaching are shared classroom space, diverse groups of students, 2 or more professionals with different primary areas of expertise, and joint delivery of instruction. Remember, when you're co-teaching with another teacher, it is important to share your classroom and all of the things that are in the classroom. Co-teaching approaches are one teach, one observe, station teaching, parallel teaching, supplemental teaching, alternative teaching, teaming, one teach, one assist. Maintaining collaborative relationships and co-teaching. Understanding each other's philosophies and beliefs. Teaching partners have parity and recognize it. Clear classroom routines. Teachers collaborate on what behavior is acceptable and what behavior is not, and they give feedback to one another. Consider each other's pet peeves. Administrative matters related to co-teaching. The need to share co-teacher planning time, scheduling for teachers, scheduling for students, a mechanism for problem solving when difficulties arise, communication of a standard in the school that any teacher might be asked to co-teach, not just individuals who initially volunteered, resolution of personnel issues when one or both co-teachers are reluctant or performing below expectations. Options for creating shared planning time. Use of substitutes, which are often provided in the school. Alternatives of class coverage. Have school staff cover classes to allow common planning time for co-teachers. Instructional strategies that facilitate planning. Co-teachers can plan as a part of their instruction in a no-frills approach to creating time. And going back to alternatives, class coverage, a lot of times assistant principals might come in and sitting in, or even sometimes the principal. Thank you.